Single lady associate in our office, the first lady associate to join was my sister-in-law.
A strong focus. It's a focused profession which is very difficult for women to focus 24/7.
In the sense that it affects them because they immediately relate to themselves. Oh, nam family lingide, nam makklu hingide.
And yet you can see today, I think on an average, every court hall has at least about 10 to 15 women appearing on a day-to-day basis. Why is it Supreme Court or any court for that matter, this issue keeps on getting surfaced? Is it so misused? I really doubt. But Supreme Court has visited this section, I think in this year already now 2-3 times. You think there is misuse? Is it that our patriarchy is not yet shelved itself?
ಸೊಸೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಾರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಅದೇ
ಸಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪ್ಪು ಹುಳಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆದರೆ ಸೊಸೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Now what I'm saying is, this kind of a thing has to go.
So now that you spoke about especially women, what do you think? Women have come a long way in this profession? Are we to go more?
I think in terms of numbers, they've come a long way. Because we didn't have a single lady associate in our office. The first lady associate to join was my sister-in-law. After she qualified, she's MA in economics, but after marriage she decided to study law. And so she studied law and she qualified, and after that she was the first woman to join our office. Of course, she didn't do much of litigation work, but she used to do some drafting and things like that. So whatever it is, so that was. Now today we have more than 50% are women. Not only here but everywhere else. In court also we see that.
So how do you think, when you think they're doing more than what you felt expected, or we got a long way to go for them? What are the challenges for them, you think?
The challenges in the profession are identical for men and women, except that women have little more. The burden is more for them.
What like? I mean, of course, burden is more. I would say this, sir. I would say this is a profession which requires strong focus. It's a focused profession which is very difficult for women to focus 24/7, whereas a man can do, because whatever the man needs to do at home or otherwise is being taken care by the other person. So when you are not able to give that focus, then I think to go to kind of break that glass ceiling, as they say, becomes very difficult. Apart from that little thing, I think women have really, we don't have any reservations. Nobody has kept any seats for them, and yet you can see today, I think on an average, every court hall has at least about 10 to 15 women appearing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I would put it like this. The greatest difficulty that women face, apart from domestic issues, is that it takes a heavy emotional toll.
Okay.
Depends on the type of subjects you're handling. For example, if you're doing family law, matrimonial cases, these cases involve a lot of human tragedy. The human emotions come to the play. Your client will come, she will cry, she will tell you this and say things against her husband, what he has done, what he has not done, my child is suffering. Then you tend to get sort of, emotionally upset with these things. So to maintain an equilibrium, I think, of course, the women have greater capacity to, control their emotions. But nevertheless, I think women are little more emotional than men, in the sense that it affects them because they immediately relate to themselves. Oh, nam family lingide, nam makklu hingide.
A strong focus. It's a focused profession which is very difficult for women to focus 24/7. Whereas a man should not take matrimonial work.
No, they can take, but they must develop means of segregating professional approach to these emotional issues. So you can do cases, but the more and more you get involved, some of the matrimonial cases we see, what kind of emails are exchanged, what kind of language is used by, the spouses.
Both spouses.
It's, absolutely shocking to me.
So now, sir, you were on the issue of exchange of mails by spouses and things like that. Marriages are becoming difficult. There are many beneficial legislations for women. Let's take 498A, for example. Supreme Court has visited this section, I think, in this year already now 2-3 times. You think there is misuse? If so, how much? And you think we should shelve these kind of beneficial legislation insofar as women is concerned?
You see, legislation by itself is welcome, it's needed, it should not be shelved.
Okay.
But how we use it is important. It's like saying, a knife, a very sharp knife, is a dangerous instrument to have. Some child in the house may take and do something, and I may do something in a fit of anger. So we don't keep any knife at home only. That is absurd. Knife should be there. We should look after it.
You should know how to use it.
You should know how to use it. You should prevent children from getting access to it.
Why is it Supreme Court, or any court for that matter, this issue keeps on getting surfaced? Is it so misused? I really doubt. But
no, I'll tell you what it is. You see, the number of cases that I have done, I can tell you that more than 90% of this 498A cases are bogus cases.
Okay.
The reason being that husband-wife have some difficulty, their incompatibility, whatever it is, and for small things it goes out of proportion, and then there is one day a showdown, and the husband says, "You don't stay here, you get out of my house," and she leaves in a huff, says, "Nange nin makka nodake ishta illa, hogtini." So then she goes away. Then what happens is, that is working now. Now she has left the house. She has no respect to come back. So what should she do? ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಠ ಕಲಿಸ್ಬೇಕು.
ಜಿದ್ದಿಂದ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
So no overt act has happened. Recently I did one case. It's a big family. That lady, the wife, did so many things. She even assaulted her mother-in-law. Okay? And she goes away. Afterwards she files a case to say, ಅತ್ತೆ ಮಾವ ಅವರ ಮಾವನ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮದ್ರು 4 ಜನ, about 12 of them, they all assaulted me ಅಂತ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ they filed 490. Now you see, when that assault took place, what is the injury she suffered? Nothing. No medical evidence. She has not suffered anything. So in these type of cases, when the court looks at it, they'll say, and another thing is this, the police are also using this to make some money.
Okay, yes.
So they know
say,
that
okay.
If they keep the police happy, the police will send word to him, ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಬಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹೌ ಲಾಂಗ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್, ವಿಲ್ ದೇ ಬಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್, ವಿಲ್ ದೇ ಬಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಬೇಲ್, or will they just be locked up, they will produce it, or will they keep you and not make a record of arrest? All these are standard things which happen. Or lastly, misuse, abuse of the accused. All these doubts are there. So when you look at the nature of the allegation, it becomes very clear that this is a cooked up, trumped up allegation. That is why Supreme Court has been recently...
No, that's fine. But what would you advise husbands and families of husbands? Why at all you come to this stage? Is it that our patriarchy is not yet shelved itself? Do you feel that way?
I think, in the semi-urban areas and in the rural areas, especially in agricultural families, right, education of the women has not reached a level where the man recognizes his wife as equal. Is not reached. So the
there
problem
is
there is, yes.
So they would have really inflicted some kind of an injury, I would say like mental injury or some, the dignity of the women is not kept. So maybe that is where they use that for 498. And of course, the ladies who really need it, they don't really go for this. Some of them do go, but when you say 90-95%, I think almost half of them are all where women are not respected in their matrimonial home, at least in those.
No, that's right. The larger problem is, now this one is lack of education is one problem. Education is another problem.
Over-education antana?
Women are now educated.
Okay.
They are standing on their own feet.
Huh.
And they don't depend on anybody. If husband is earning X, wife is earning X plus 2, or could be X minus 2, whatever it is. But financially they are independent. So it is high time that young people understood that your wife is not your subordinate, your wife is your equal person.
Exactly. So that we are not able to have that adult education among our families, including the mother-in-laws or the father-in-laws. I think that is where we need to have a bit. Suddenly when we become the in-laws of the daughter-in-law, our demeanor, of everything is changed. When we become the in-laws of the son-in-law, then we are like totally different. I think this what shall I say, it's so ingrained in our thinking. I think once we change this, I think we'll be able to have a balance. Do you think that is a fair way
ಸೊಸೆ
of...
ಬಂದರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಾರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಅದೇ
ಸಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪ್ಪು ಹುಳಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆದರೆ ಸೊಸೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Now what I'm saying is, this kind of a thing has to go. You see, it can't be that you expect somebody from outside. You should be sympathetic to that person. She has left her near and dear people and come to some strange house. She doesn't know anybody.
Just give
here.
a little accommodation.
Yeah,
I mean, for some time.
Absolutely. That's the only way that you can make this house her home.
So while I think we could say that while it could be possible that legally the ingredients in 498 may not be present in most of the cases, but there is that lack of dignity for a woman in her matrimonial home, I think is very large in our society, whether it's urban or rural. That's how I feel, sir. So
I think it is so, but among the elite and the well-educated and well-heeled, things have changed completely.
very, very marginally, I would say, sir.
No, it has changed. I know large number of families where the women are treated with the greatest of respect.
Okay. No, of course. Earlier it used to be zero. Now there are many, many families. Yes, yes.
That is because they recognize, you see, the daughter-in-law has gone abroad, she studied, she's got qualification, she is equal to the son, and just as the son is entitled to relax, the daughter is also entitled to relax. That attitude has come. So I think it's changing, but change is very slow.
That's very nice. So, no, I think it is a very different perspective that we spoke about on 498A. And I think at least our advocate friends and people who listen to this would realize that the change should start from day one, from the time when the daughter-in-law is actually coming to your house, the way you look at her, give her that respect. You are giving a very, what shall I say, very cosmetic respect. I think that is probably if we change that and have a little more genuine one, I think those will that. So then this is how I think society's role in shaping, I mean advocates' role in society to shape our society.
Another thing is, I would strongly advocate that lawyers, when they handle cases, you see, we don't have to judge who is right, who is wrong.
Of course.
It's not our job. But then, at the same time, we should not tell them, you should complaint kodu, say something false, and give a false complaint. You draft that complaint, add all sorts of things which never occurred, and for the purpose of harassment. Now, same thing with my motor vehicle accident cases. We hear of many lawyers saying, cooking up an accident itself. There's no accident, only that has happened.
See, that may not have much of a far-reaching effect when it comes to these families. When you give a wrong advice, it really breaks the whole fabric of the society. When so many families, if you recollect, we had one judge who had put in a judgment saying 15 years minimum practice should be there for an advocate to take up matrimonial cases. But it was not so much welcome by our legal fraternity. So what do you think, sir, that should be the changes that you want to see in our profession?